Titled Gold Summit, this episode is stacked with rich details, themes, and unexpected moments that you might have missed. It's got everything: Gotham's relentless winter, crime lords at each other's throats, and of course Penguin pushing the limits of power. So this breakdown's packed and you're gonna want to stick around till the end. Let's start with the opening moments. The wintry backdrop isn't just a seasonal shift, it's practically a character itself in this episode. The showrunners use Gotham's snowy streets to amplify the feeling of bleakness and isolation. Snow falls softly over Gotham, creating a stark contrast to the violent undertones of the city's power struggle. The song playing over this opener is a remix of Billy Squier's The Stroke. It sets a tone with its rebellious energy, and this isn't just a random choice. The lyrics talk about surviving the system, echoing Penguin's storyline as he goes from a low-level thug to a formidable crime boss, and honestly kind of setting up the beginning of the next Batman movie. But let's get into the heart of the one and only. The Gold Summit scene is pivotal, bringing together Gotham's most powerful criminal figures in one room. A risky move that Penguin orchestrates to strengthen his influence. This meeting alone sets the stage for massive changes in the city's power dynamics. We're introduced to some heavy hitters here, including leaders from Gotham's infamous triads, the Lobo Gang, the Lowboy Gang, and the Burnley Massive. It's like Gotham's version of a crime conference. And Penguin's role as host cements his position as a key player. One interesting detail to note here is Penguin's approach to all these alliances. Instead of brute force, he uses charm and strategy, and proving he's much as a tactician as he is a fighter. He distributes the iconic tri-corner gold, a subtle nod to Gotham's geography and the three-way split of power between these rival groups. The tri-corner symbolizes unity amongst the gangs, a unity that the Penguin is quick to exploit. He's playing chess while everyone is playing checkers, and this episode is a testament to this meticulous planning. It's like he's coming at it more as a businessman instead of a criminal. Now, why is this Gold Summit so significant? In the comics, these summits often lead to massive upheavals in the Gotham underworld. The show's writers are pulling from that history, signaling that the Penguin's alliances might not last, but his ambition will. It's the quiet moments, the uneasy alliances, and the lingering suspicion in the room that tells us these gangsters don't trust each other, and the things could erupt any second. Penguin is well aware of the ticking time bomb he's sitting on, yet he thrives in this chaos. Now, Penguin and his mother, Gotham's strongest family. One of the most unexpected, heartbreaking scenes in this episode is the Penguin's relationship with his mother, Frances. Throughout the series, she's been his one anchor to humanity. We see different sides of him here: vulnerable, caring, almost gentle. It's moments like these that remind us Penguin is still Oswald Cobblepot, a son who loves his mother despite the harshness of Gotham. In episode 6, Frances is struggling more than ever with her health. She's not just dealing with physical illness, her mental state is deteriorating, her memory slips, her speech falters, and in one scene, she seems almost childlike in her helplessness. Penguin, for all his ruthlessness, shows a tenderness with her that he shows no one else. He applies her makeup, helps her dress, and even reminisces with her, as if he's trying to hold on to every last shred of their shared past. But this scene is more than a touching family moment. It's a painful reminder of what the Penguin stands to lose and why he's so desperate to control Gotham. Frances's condition mirrors Gotham's own decline. As she fades, so does the Penguin's last connection to innocence. Her decline symbolizes the inevitable decay of even the strongest ties, hinting that Penguin's road to power might come at a personal cost he isn't necessarily ready to pay. Sophia Gigante and Gotham's new power player, cut that. And then there's Sophia Gigante. She's a character who's both fascinating and terrifying, a woman who commands respect, but whose moral compass is completely gone at this point. And her scenes in this episode are among the most intense, and it's clear she's playing a game as dangerous as the Penguins. Episode 6 gives us a closer look at her motivations and backstory, painting her not just as a villain, but as a product of Gotham's brutal environment. She's ruthless, yes, but she's also pragmatic, navigating a world where softness is a weakness. One of the standout scenes with Sophia involves Dr. Rush, who she treats almost as her personal pawn, and their interactions are unsettling, but Also, it reveals a lot about her psyche, and in one moment she's cold and calculating, and then in the next she's practically teasing him. It's unsettling, and it's an unsettling power dynamic that speaks to her complexity as a character. Sophia isn't driven by blind rage or some simple revenge. It's strategic, carefully picking apart her enemies, weaknesses, and exploiting them. Now, one of the most fascinating subplots of episode 6 is the introduction of a new drug in the Gotham scene, Bliss. So Bliss is obviously no ordinary substance. It's a potent hallucinogen, and its introduction into Gotham's underground marks a turning point. Penguin doesn't just see it as money or as a moneymaker. He sees it as a tool, a way to manipulate his enemies and control the masses. The design of the Bliss packaging, with its hypnotic eye symbol, it's deliberate. It's meant to convey the allure and danger of the drug, suggesting that those who indulge in it lose a part of themselves. This isn't just about drugs, it's a commentary of Gotham's larger decay, on how power corrupts even the most well-intentioned players. What's more is the drug effects extend beyond physical addiction. It has psychological implications that amplify the user's darkest desires. In Gotham, where everyone's one bad day away from snapping, Bliss is like throwing gasoline on a fire. Penguin is essentially weaponizing desperation, and it's one of the most insidious moves we've seen him make so far. This episode hammers home the divide between Gotham's wealthy elite and the lower class. Penguin surprisingly casts himself as the hero of the downtrodden, championing their right to survive in a city that's rigged against them. In a city as corrupt as Gotham, where the rich live comfortably while the poor suffer. Penguin's message resonates. He's positioning himself as the voice of Gotham's real population, the ones who bear the brunt of the city's crime and corruption. We see this most vividly when the rich are shown enjoying uninterrupted power while the lower class neighborhoods are left in the darkness and cold. It's a stark representation of Gotham's inequality, and Penguin uses it to his advantage by uniting the have-nots, he's creating a power base that could rival even Gotham's wealthiest families. The brilliance here isn't just that it's in Penguin's tactics, it's in the way that the showrunners are using him to expose Gotham's systematic corruption. And when we go to Vic, I think Vic might screw up here. It's like there's so much tension building around him right now, especially how Sophia showed up to the house and just ended the scene with her staring at his mother. I think she's gonna kill his mother. She's gonna leave Vic alive for him to tell the Penguin, and the Penguin's gonna kill Vic in cold blood and not think about it, and he's just gonna instantly kill him because he's gonna think he messed up and this is his fault. And I think in the previous video I talked about how Colin Farrell said we're not going to like him in episode 8. So whether he kills him in the next episode or episode 8, I think it's going to be Vic dying. You can just feel the tension build up in Vic. We don't know what it is, but I think it's that. As episode 6 reaches its climax, all the plot threads converge, setting up an explosive finale. The Gold Summit marks a new era for Gotham's underworld, one where alliances are fragile and betrayal is inevitable. Penguin's speech to the crime lords isn't just a rallying cry, it's a threat, a promise that anyone who opposes him will face the full force of his wrath. It's a moment that feels like it could change the course of Gotham's history. Penguin's control of Bliss, his alliances with the lower class, his complex relationship with his mother, these aren't just subplots, they're pieces of a larger puzzle, one that's hinting at an all-out war for Gotham's soul. And as we look to the future, it's clear that no one, not even Penguin himself, is safe. And creating all these subplots that are pieces to a larger puzzle, this is what shows are missing. Everything leads to one direction with subplots, and that's how you introduce side characters instead of making a bunch of side shows. This is how you do it, and I think all these other companies like like Marvel and Star Wars, this is how you do it. Like, take notes here. So that's episode 6 of The Penguin, a packed episode that has set the stage for a lot of drama, betrayal, and even some redemption. Let me know what you guys think. Can Penguin really pull this off, or is he just setting himself up for a fall? Drop your thoughts below. Where do you think the last episode is gonna lead us? Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, maybe check this video out.